Modern University in Scotland is holding an information session at the Essequibo Room, Pegasus Hotel Inn on February 17 from 6:30 to 8 p.m., intended for the upcoming May intake. Edinburgh Napier University's programs are 100% online, 100% flexible, and 100% relevant. Online programs include the MBA with over 12 streams and a range of specialist Master of Science and bachelor degree programs. Visit www.seidegrees.com to make a reservation. That's www.seidegrees.com.
This is the news on top of the hour.
Live from our studio in Georgetown.
Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 FM.
Good evening, my name is Amrita Koshal and this is your evening newscast. Nigeria's Minister of State for Environment, Chief Sharon Ikeazor, announced that the oil production and storage ship, which recently exploded in Nigerian waters, was carrying approximately 60,000 barrels of crude at the time of the explosion. An official of the Sheba Oil Exploration and Production Company Limited, Ikemefuna Okafor, had confirmed last Thursday that a FPSO vessel named Trinity Spirit erupted in flames in Upakoti on the coast of Nigeria's southern Delta state. As a result of the explosion, one of the 10-member crew that was on board at the time is feared dead, as his whereabouts remain unknown. The fire has since been extinguished, and the National Oil Spill Detection Response Agency will go for an overflight on Sunday and Monday to monitor the situation of crude spill in the sea. On that note, we now tell you that a shortage of fuel in Peru has caused Peru's Agency for Environmental Assessment and Enforcement to temporarily lift the suspension of the operations of Spanish oil company Repsol, following the ecological disaster that was caused by an oil spill from one of the company's refineries. However, Repsol will only be allowed to continue its operations for 10 days and under supervision from the agency. The oil spill, which occurred on January 15, 2022, at one of the La Pampilla refineries off the coast of Ventanilla in the region of Lima, Peru, was caused by shock waves from an undersea volcanic eruption near Tonga in the South Pacific Ocean. Repsol had underreported the quantity of crude that was spilled, but later investigations by the OEFA revealed that almost 12,000 barrels of oil was spilled, more than double the amount that was initially reported by the company. Moving on, opposition member of parliament and shadow oil and gas minister David Patterson noted that among the several motions that he has in store to be tabled in the National Assembly is a motion calling for full coverage insurance, and that this is part of his efforts to secure full coverage insurance for Guyana before an oil disaster strikes. Quote-unquote, Guyana obtaining full coverage insurance for the oil and gas sector is very important, and we have always wanted that for Guyana to protect us in the event of an oil spill. He noted that since 2015, the parent company of EEPGL, that should be ExxonMobil, has steered clear of being tied to full coverage insurance for its Stabroek Block projects, which are certain to deliver multi-billion-dollar profits on an annual basis. Instead, it has placed only its subsidiary on the hook if such an eventuality occurs offshore. On that note, 1 week after presenting its $553 billion budget for this year and including monies withdrawn illegally from the Natural Resource Fund or the oil account, the PPP government is now scrambling to seek parliamentary approval to cover itself from possible legal action by civil society members. On February 1st, after analysts spoke against the illegal manner in which the oil money was deducted from the fund and incorporated into the budget, the government quickly submitted a motion to the National Assembly seeking approval to include the sums into the national estimates for this year. The Natural Resource Fund Act, which was hurriedly passed last December in a matter of less than 2 weeks by the government, who sidelined calls for a thorough review, outlines that the Parliament must approve withdrawals from the fund to be included in the government spending. Weighing in on what he referred to as pilfering of the oil money, Shadow Oil and Gas Minister David Patterson on Sunday told Kaieteur News that the administration has been living up to its corrupt nature since its assumption to office, and this recent move is evident that their motives are no longer secret. Time check for you, 19 hours 6. We will return with more news for you shortly after the break.
Diana, join me on the Glenn Lal Show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:20 p.m. and a rebroadcast at 11 a.m. The Glenn Lal Show only on Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 and 99.5 FM.
And now back with more news in detail. Members of Parliament today approved some $32 million for the office of the Leader of the Opposition, even though it was revealed that the National Assembly plans on spending $7 million to purchase a photocopying machine. Added to this, the House remained unclear as to whether local government elections will be held this year, despite the utterances of the substantive minister for the portfolio. During the consideration of the figures allocated for the Parliament office, Opposition Chief Whip Christopher Jones sought to elicit confirmation of the allocation for the office of the Leader of the Opposition. Minister of Parliamentary Affairs and Governance Gail Teixeira gave the confirmation that the office had been allocated some $27 million for its current expenditure and another $5 million for capital works. When questioned on the total $45 million allocation remaining for the office, the minister at this point indicated that apart from cameras, furniture, and electronic gates, they were also looking to purchase a photocopying machine for some $7 million. And now finally we tell you that the rehabilitation of a 20-year inoperable drainage pump station at Kaieteur on the Essequibo coast, according to an engineer's estimate, is expected to cost some $262 million. As a result of drainage issues, many rice and cash crop farmers in that area have suffered considerable losses over time. The project, which is slated to have a 12-month duration, will benefit approximately 200 farmers and other residents within the market area of the village. It will also provide drainage for about 7,000 acres of farmland. For more details on how to bid for this project, see the Sunday's edition of the Kaieteur News. Time check for you, 19 hours 9. My name is Amrita Koshal, and this was your nightly newscast right here on Kaieteur Radio. Kindly stay tuned for the Glenn Lal Show at 19:20.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur